So, who makes the ultimate supermarket breakfast? Is it Morrisons or is it Sainsbury's? Well, they both beat ASDA and Tesco respectively, so why not find out who is the ultimate champion? So let's start off first with Morrisons.
So I decided to go to a different Morrisons to the one in my previous video, because there are a few comments saying that the breakfast at your local Morrisons was different to mine. So can they be different at different locations? Well, let's find out. So this Morrisons is located in Rothwell in Leeds. Let's head in and check it out. The main counter is situated on the left side of the cafe with various foods on display, such as sandwiches, pastries, cakes and drinks. And it's also where you order from too. The cafe itself is really open and spacious with loads of seating available, even some near the window so you can look outside while you eat, although I'm not too sure about the view though, as there's a wall directly outside. The menu is located on a big board at the entrance to the cafe where you can see all the food options available to you, but there's only one thing we're here for: the full breakfast. So let's grab our tray and head down the line. I'm going to get a teapot here, and if you're wondering, the tea bag is already in the teapot. You get to fill up your own teapot too, and you already know what I'm going to do: fill it up right to the top. And here it is, plus a couple of packs of milk in these small cartons. I managed to let the tea brew for a bit first before making the tea, which I didn't do last time, so it turned out to be a great strong cup of tea. So this is the Morrisons breakfast. It looks pretty similar to the previous one I tried, and I'm pretty impressed that they can make a fancy looking breakfast at a supermarket. So well done, Morrisons. With this breakfast you get 2 good sized sausages with nice golden brown colour to them that look really appetising, a fried egg with, I'm not too sure if that's a runny yolk or not, so I'll have to check that later, a pot of beans that look really saucy. In fact, are there any beans in there? Find out later. You get a roasted tomato that's hiding behind the baked beans, 2 huge hash browns that look delicious and crispy, so I can't wait to try those, a giant mushroom that's following the trend of most places now, 2 slices of bacon that seem to be different sizes. You get 1 small one and 1 big one, plus the toast on the side in its own little pot with a couple of packs of butter. I'm going to start off here with the sausages. They've got good colour to them, they're a good size and shape too, and I remember really liking these. So let's go for a taste and see how they are. Delicious! They've got a really nice meaty, salty flavour, and the balance between the meaty and salty is perfect. The texture is good too, so a great sausage. I want to test out the egg next, and look at that, it has a runny yolk. I don't think it had one in the previous Morrisons I went to, so this is a great surprise. And tasty too. It's always better having a runny yolk, as it just adds that creaminess to the bite. I think I'm just going to go round the plate here and try out the beans next. It's pretty saucy as I mentioned before, so a high sauce to bean ratio, but sometimes I don't mind that, as it adds extra moisture to the meal that would otherwise be a bit dry. They were good tasting beans, and more sauce just means I can dip more things in it. It's a pretty small tomato that you get here, and it's just a half, but it does look to be roasted well, so let's try it out. It's nice. It's sweet and juicy, but I only wish you get a bigger one or a full one. Now this hash brown is looking incredible. It's a big one that you get here, and you get 2 as well. I'm pretty happy about that, as I love hash browns. So let's go in for a bite of this. These were amazing. It was crispy and crunchy on the outside with a nice oily fried flavour. The inside was soft and potatoey, so a great hash brown. Giant mushroom time, and this one is probably not the biggest, but it does look to be cooked nicely, so let's try it out. You get a squidgy, meaty texture as soon as you bite into it, and a subtle roasted mushroom flavour too, so a decent mushroom. It's time for the bacon, and I'm going to pick the smaller one to try out, I think. It's quite thin cut here, and I don't know, would you be a bit disappointed if you got a small one here like me? Let's try it out and see how it is. It's pretty nice. The meaty and salty flavour is there, but I think I would like it more if it was thicker cut to add more of a meaty bite to it. Now for the toast. I'm quite impressed that they give you Lurpak here, as it's the expensive brand and you get 2 packs as well. So let's get it on the toast and take a bite. It's pretty nice. You get a buttery and creamy flavour and it spreads really well. So on to the combo bite. I've gone here with sausage, tomato, hash brown and egg, plus a dip into the saucy beans. Delicious. I'm really impressed by this Morrisons breakfast, and there's a lot to like about it, so it's definitely worth a try if you're at one.
So that was a delicious breakfast in there. The sausage and hash brown were great. So the total cost of that meal was £7.28. Let's move on next to Sainsbury's.
So the Sainsbury's I decided to go to is a different one again, just to see if the breakfast is any different here. The one I went to is located in the Trinity Walk shopping centre in Wakefield. It's on the lower level and in a pretty fancy looking location, I would say. So let's go in and check it out. The cafe has a modern looking counter area with drinks, sandwiches and cakes available. The menus are situated behind the tills with hot and cold food options. It's a decent sized cafe, and although not as big as Morrisons, feels a bit more open and airy due to the higher ceilings and open plan design, including the floor to ceiling glass windows. You might already have noticed, I got a huge cup of tea, which was pretty comparable with the size of the teapot at Morrisons. And it was a good tea. The breakfast came out looking really nice, I have to say. I liked the arrangement, and you got pretty much the same items barring one hash brown. So with this breakfast you get the now standard giant mushroom that looks to be roasted well, 2 sausages that have fantastic looking golden brown colour on them, so can't wait to taste those, a couple slices of toast that are already buttered, a fried egg that I can't quite see the yolk of, so we'll have to see how that is later on, 2 rashers of bacon that look really delicious with the crispy looking edges, a big portion of baked beans that is more bean and less sauce than Morrisons, a roasted tomato, and a hash brown that looks nice and crispy. Let's start off with one of these sausages. They've got good colour on them, not too overdone or underdone, just right I would say, so let's taste them and see how they are. Really tasty. You get a nice meaty salty flavour, a good bit of a snap to the outside, so a pretty good sausage. Now let's try out this toast that's already been buttered. I think I do prefer buttering it myself as I can control the butter to toast ratio, but let's try this out and see how it is. It's decent. I do want to put on my own butter though, as with it already on it can make the toast a bit soggy and cold, so you lose a bit of that crunch by the time you get it and eat it. I think the egg is going to be perfect here, and it is. Lovely runny yolk inside. I think it has to be a runny yolk to get top marks, and this does. The yolk is creamy and the white is soft. You definitely do get more beans here, and the bean to sauce ratio is higher too. The sauce is thicker and darker, so I'm guessing it's going to be sweeter, but let's taste it and see. It was definitely more on the sweeter side, which can help with contrasting the salty meats, and the beans were a good texture too. Let's try out the bacon next. It's thicker cut here and has a nicer golden brown colour to the edges, so I prefer the way this has been cooked. Let's go in for a taste. Delicious. It was definitely meaty and salty in flavour and texture. The slight crisp to the edges and thicker cut gave it a nice chew and bite, so this was some great bacon. The tomato looks to be cooked well, it's a decent size too. Let's see how it tastes. It's a pretty good tomato. It's soft in the middle, you get a nice sweet tomatoey flavour, and having it on a breakfast just adds that bit of freshness that contrasts the meat. Now check out this hash brown. It's got a lovely golden brown colour. It's not the biggest one I've ever had, but it looks delicious nevertheless. Let's try it out. What a nice hash brown. You get a good crisp to the outside as soon as you bite into it. The inside is soft and has great potato flavour. The soft and crispy textures just work so well together, and then with the fried potato flavour, it's delicious. On to the combo bite. I've gone here with sausage, hash brown, tomato and egg, plus the dip into the beans, although there's not much sauce here. It's a really nice breakfast that they do here with everything that you would want, but how does it compare?
So that was another delicious breakfast. The bacon was great, so the total cost of that meal was £7.05. So which was the better breakfast? Comment down below which one you preferred. For me, it's a pretty tough decision because they were both really nice. The sausage was better at Morrisons, but the bacon was better at Sainsbury's. You did get an extra hash brown at Morrisons, although it was a little bit more expensive. And hash browns are one of my favourite things. So because you get two at Morrisons, I think I'm going to have to pick Morrisons as the winner on this occasion. Okay, if you like breakfast, click on the thumbs up icon below and click on subscribe to come along for the next food journey, and I'll see you in the next one.